a whole bunch of golf because Tiger, oh Tiger. For years, the world wondered if Tiger Woods would ever play competitive golf again, himself included, in what can only be called one of, if not the greatest comebacks in sports history. The 43-year-old Tiger Woods captured his 5th green jacket on Sunday in a very competitive field with seemingly everyone at Augusta rooting him on. It brings his major total to 15. That's just 3 shy of Jack. And it breaks an 11-year major championship drought. Here is Tiger Woods.
Just unreal, to be honest with you. It's, just the whole tournament has meant so much to me over the years. Coming here in '95 for the first time and be able to play as an amateur, winning in '97, and then come full circle 22 years later, be able to do it again. I had, serious doubts after, what transpired a couple of years ago. I mean, I could barely walk. I couldn't sit, couldn't lay down. I really couldn't do much of anything. Luckily, I had the procedure on my back, which gave me a chance at, having a normal life. But then all of a sudden, I realized I could actually swing a golf club again, and I felt if I could somehow piece this together, that I still had the hands to do it. The body's not the same as it was, a long time ago, but I still have good hands, and so that certainly has helped. And I've pieced it together, and next thing you know, if you look at it, my first 14 wins in majors where I had the lead in every one of them, or tied for the lead. To have the opportunity to come back like this, it is probably one of the biggest wins I've ever had, for sure. My dad's no longer here, but my mom's here 22 years later. I happened to win the tournament, and then to have both Sam and Charlie here. They were there at the British Open last year when I had the lead, on that back nine, and I made a few mistakes and cost myself a chance to win the Open title. Wasn't going to let that happen to them twice. And so for them to see what it's like to have their dad win a major championship, I hope that's something they'll never forget.
It was great. Yeah, and you truly believe the emotional toll it took on him when he lost that and then when he won yesterday at the Masters. CC, how remarkable was yesterday's victory?
It was really amazing to see, because in the game of golf, and when you're utilizing not only your body but your mind stays a lot more young and youthful than your body. It's been well chronicled as far as the number of surgeries that he's had. No golfer ever in the history of the PGA Tour has played on tour with a fused back. I've been trying to point that out every time we talk about Tiger Woods. What do you think about Tiger? Well, no golfer has ever even played with a fused back, let alone trying to win tournaments, in which I believe, and maybe there's some other golf where there was top quality golfers that have major championship experience, positive experience, than what was on the leaderboard this weekend at the Masters. So this was a remarkable feat. Truly, truly remarkable. And for those who love Tiger Woods and his biggest fans, they would even, if they were being honest, say, I didn't even know if I was going to ever see this day. Because he was right. 2 years ago at the captain's dinner, the dinner they have the week leading up to the Masters, he was not able to stand up. He was not able to do anything physically. He was totally depressed.
What did he tell people at that captain's dinner?
I mean, he was just trying to walk.
Right, and he told people at that champion's dinner, I don't think I'm ever going to play again.
Remember, he left the dinner, he went to London right after to get yet another opinion on just something to ease the pain, much less to be able to play again.
And that's why, and the culmination of everything, the scandal, and then the arrest, and the injuries, and the depression, that's why yesterday was, for me as a sports fan, as close to a religious experience as I've ever had. What we saw, that man doing it on that course, given those and that in the literal form, like, it is very difficult to believe. Now, you did have moments, as he alluded to, moments that gave you hope this could happen recently. The previous 2 majors, At the British, he briefly held the lead before he.
But that's what made this more important.
Yep.
Because if he wasn't able to, because the last 2 majors, yes, and then the last 4 majors, yes, he's been involved. He blew the British Open last year.
He had the lead and immediately double bogeyed.
Yes.
Tried to do some fancy flop shot right off the green as if he were chasing rather than in the lead. And he double bogeyed that hole, bogeyed the next hole, and now he's just playing for a top 5. And then the following tournament, the PGA, the following major, Brooks Koepka had a substantial lead throughout. Tiger was in the final group, but only at one moment for one hole, came within one shot. Koepka had a comfortable lead the whole time. And so for him to have the patient approach that you were talking about, that's what you were alluding to, I feel like, in the beginning, which is even if his body's wearing down, his mind can not only stay sharp, but maybe get sharper. He knows the way you win the Masters is the 13th hole on. The first 12 holes, you survive it, right? You
survive or lose it.
Right, survive or lose. And so I thought he was going to start pressing because Molinari seemed like a damn robot out there. He almost set the Masters record for consecutive holes without a bogey, but Tiger waited and waited and waited. And then on the 12th hole, everyone fell apart around him. There's 5 guys in the top 5, obviously. First, third, fourth, and fifth. All hit it in the water. All hit the same place in the water. Tiger hit it squarely on the green, and that's what allowed him to tie for the lead and then go on to win.
But that was part of what made it so special. You saw the effect, the old Tiger effect, where he actually affects the other guys around him. Molinari was a robot the whole time. I thought he had it won. Koepka was too, and you started seeing him make mistake after mistake, and that's when you saw Tiger Woods be vintage Tiger Woods. He just pressed on, and he knew what he had to do, and he methodically went through the rest of the game.
And see, you made the point on that, where he got lucky, a little fortunate. Golf God smiled down on him with the pairings.
Yes, because of the bad weather. The Augusta National decided to do something they've never done. They go both tee pairings, going off the front and the back simultaneously, moving the tournament up. The tournament was going to finish at 2 o'clock, and the leaders would go off at 9:20, typically compared to going off at 3:20.
And it was going to be a threesome instead of a twosome.
Yes.
If it was a twosome, what group's Tiger in?
He's in the second to the last group. And those guys don't feel the pressure and of the crowd. Because one thing that happened at the British Open in last year's majors, where Molinari was able to battle with Tiger down the stretch and pull it out. We believe Tiger blew that one. Tiger didn't have the advantage playing in the British Open, U.S. Open, even going against Koepka. People were excited about Tiger, but he didn't have the advantage. At Augusta National, besides Jack Nicklaus, all right, he's the only person that can make the crowd do what it did. After he wins, they were chanting, Tiger. You've never, ever heard that from those type of people. So that was the effect of him being in that last group, even the group in front of him, because the patrons that love Tiger are getting ahead of it.
At one point, Koepka teed off with them still cheering. Koepka was about to tee off. This was after the shot on 16, which was an all-time Tiger iconic shot. You said you know Augusta well enough that once it landed on the green, you thought it could go in. I don't know the greens and the undulation like that, but once it finished, I said, well, now he's going to win the tournament.
Yeah, it basically was on the same line as the chip that he chipped in last time he won, where he chipped it up the hill after being over the green. All right, so I mean, Tiger Woods, his ability to be able to make shots in those pressure situations, that was the difference.
Did the fact that this happened at Augusta, at the Masters, make it that much more impressive?
Well, it made it, to me, more special, and it made it that we now have, and we obviously are not the only people who point this out, but the juxtaposition of a 21-year-old Tiger Woods embracing his father in that bear hug, and then 22 years later, a 43-year-old Tiger Woods picking up his young son and, you know, embracing Charlie like that. I thought that was as special as it could get, and I thought he seemed to take in that moment. I've never seen, even when the last major he won prior to this, where he had to make a putt on 18 on the 72nd hole just to force a playoff, and you saw his exuberant reaction. I've never seen an elongated reaction from Tiger the way we saw yesterday.
I've been very, very fortunate that I've been with Tiger, Tiger's dad, Tiger's family, the agent, have walked with them for a number of years at Augusta, even had dinner with Tiger's mom and Tiger's dad the night before he put on the green jacket one time. But Tiger's to the point in his career, it's about tournaments and everything, but it's really about an audience of two. And that's his daughter, and that's his son. because they've never seen him be a champion. It was important for him. His daughter just lost a state soccer game and decided, man, are you going to come? Tiger says she's in the dumps. Can you come to the Masters? Maybe it might cheer you up. His son had never even been on the course and everything. So I know this was his dad's favorite tournament. So him winning at Augusta, him getting his 5th jacket, Jack now has 6. He's able to move out of the 4 range that him and Arnold Palmer had 4 together. So yes, extra special anytime Tiger is able to win, because that being his dad. But now with the audience of 2, his daughter and his son, very, very important for Tiger Woods to be able to be a champion in front of them.
All right, we'll have plenty more on this. We thought it was going to be a Game of Thrones Sunday. It was Tiger Woods Sunday yesterday. Coming up, there was also some NBA playoff action to talk about. Will Joel Embiid's health derail the Sixers' run at a title? That's next on FS1.